For removing governors tonight, M J Akbar. Against removing governors, Atul Kumar Anjaan of the CPI. For removing governors, Naresh Gujral. Against removing governors, KTS Tulsi is going to be joining us now, senior advocate and Rajya Sabha member of parliament. For removing governors, Yatin Oza. And against removing governors, we'll have Gaurav Bhatia also joining us. So I start with the first question to someone who is for removing governors, which is M J Akbar, spokesperson of the BJP, member of their strategy cell. What kind of strategy is this, Mr. M J Akbar? The biggest self-goal that the BJP could have carried out on itself. In 2004, the BJP says, against the removal of 4 NDA appointed governors, that this act of the Congress party is, in the words of Arun Jaitley, quote unquote, a gross constitutional impropriety. How do you carry out 10 years later the same gross constitutional impropriety and even justify it at that?
Well, Arnab, the logic, it's actually much ado about nothing, if I may use the phrase. The logic is fairly simple. A governor is appointed at the pleasure of the president. The president, constitutionally, has to go according to the wishes of the cabinet. Unfortunately, in the last, in an ideal world where the governor is a person of great integrity and so on, which is what it should be in principle, I think you could probably, cite
Margaret Alva doesn't have integrity?
Like integrity, but
Mr. Narayanan does not have integrity?
Excuse me, but sometimes the governors have been used politically and are being used politically. Bihar is a very good instance. And in a sensitive situation, there will come a time, I think Mr. Bhardwaj said, a governor remains until the president appoints the new governor.
No.
Is the polite way out.
No, sir.
And if on the recommendation of the cabinet, the president does actually appoint, it will be an untidy process.
No, sir. At that point of time, Arun Jaitley was BJP General Secretary. He had said, and I want to continue this, remember what he has said, because you can't say that Arun Jaitley's position today will be different from Arun Jaitley's position in 2004. He had said, and I quote him, he had said that unless there is a compelling reason for the removal of governors, the pleasure of the president cannot be withdrawn after the appointment of a particular governor. Not just that, he had quoted what had happened after the emergency when governors were sacked or asked to put in their papers en masse. And he had said the trend was sought to be reversed in the last 10 to 12 years. So the NDA government did not remove any governor without consultation of the chief ministers. There was no arbitrariness, Arun Jaitley said. And he went on to give the historic quote where he said, this is a government of patronage, not policy. I mean, Mr. M J Akbar, you are trying to play this whole thing down, but tonight I argue this whole issue with you on a matter of principle. Principle, Mr. Yatin Oza, on which the BJP tonight, on an issue of principle, the BJP tonight is completely cornered on the issue. Mr. Oza.
May I just point out, Arnab?
I'll just get Mr. Oza in. Let's hear the BJP argument from different perspectives. I'll come back to you, Mr. Akbar.
Sure.
Yes, Mr. Oza.
Look, today I don't have the benefit of the screen, but I heard some Congress spokesperson saying that we will decide whether our governor should resign or not. This is where the catch lies. Governor should be of nobody. He is a titular head of the state.
Sir, I don't get this logic.
Titular head is merely an ornamental head.
Sir, I don't get this logic.
I fully agree that merely because 1 minute, if you say that we have appointed our governors, meaning thereby...
Sir, what I'm saying is, do you realize that the law which I'm quoting today, the real author of the law is the BJP? Because do you realize that it is the BJP which went through its then member of parliament BP Singhal to the court? You challenged, 1 minute, sir. Do you question the fact that BP Singhal, who was a Rajya Sabha member of parliament, he filed the PIL following the dismissal of 4 governors of Uttar Pradesh, Goa, Haryana and Gujarat? What paper are you showing me?
I have the copy of the judgment.
Yeah, so
I have
no,
the
no, but
copy of
tell
the
me who,
judgment.
who went
So
to
I'm
court?
fully
Was it
aware
a BJP MP or not?
BJP MP, Mr. Singhal.
So no,
Agreed.
you go to court.
But that
One
was
second.
on
This is
principle.
therefore the ridiculous situation. You go to court. You are aggrieved. You get the judgment. The judgment comes out in your favor. And today you act in open contravention of the Supreme Court judgment. I mean, Mr. Yatin Oza, please argue today on the basis of cold and objective fact on which you are weak. The ground is slipping from under your feet as far as facts are concerned in this case, Mr. Oza.
I will argue on objectivity.
You are a lawyer, sir. Argue objectively.
Arbitrary, you can be I am arguing. See, under 156, please give me only 2 minutes uninterrupted. 156, governor holds the office at the pleasure of the president. Now, Supreme Court has interpreted 156.
Yes.
It can't be only because a governor holds a different political ideology. I concede to that, because it's no point in arguing against the Constitution Bench judgment of the.
Sir, you are arguing against the Supreme Court.
But at the same time,
you are challenging the Supreme Court.
There is no point in arguing against the. I said there is no point in arguing against.
Then why are you doing it in a cloak and dagger manner?
Listen, no. We today find that these governors are not appropriate to hold the post. The past experiences, look at what Kamla Beniwal did in Gujarat.
Now it comes out. The real issue is Kamla Beniwal. The real issue is Kamla Beniwal.
No,
that's the real issue.
No, Kamla
come on,
Beniwal
Mr.
is
Oza.
not a real issue. That's not a real issue.
No.
This is an illustrative
No, one
issue.
second. There are three reasons. There are three reasons. No, one second. Let's get the other side.
Some other political ideology.
Sir, this is
doesn't function the state government to function.
Sir, you forget. You have not read. Sir, I'm really sorry, Mr. Oza, but you have come to the program not having read the Supreme Court order. I'm sorry to have to say this to you.
I have copy, paragraph 50.
You have not read it.
Paragraph 50 of the Supreme Court judgment on kanun.com. I have got it.
I don't care if kanun.com or whatever the fact 23. is. Well, if that is the fact, may I ask you this?
Paragraph 50, page 23.
But you see,
and
that doesn't impress me.
Mr.
Oza, we get a contrary perspective. I'm going across.
I have even marked it and underlined it. I have even marked it and underlined it.
Yeah, the good thing about it is that you have the copy.
Please see.
No, 1 second. 1 second. One Mr. Oza, that doesn't impact. The good thing, you have a copy. The bad thing is you haven't read the relevant parts. If you had read the relevant parts, there is a part where 1 minute. No. 1 minute. It says, the Supreme Court says about the new government not being a basis for removal of governors. It says the governor cannot be removed on the ground that is out of sync with the policies or ideologies of the union government or the party in power at the center. Nor can he be removed on the ground that the union government has lost confidence in him. It follows, therefore, that the change in government at the center is not a ground for the removal of governors holding office to make way for others favored by the new government. Supreme Court order on the basis of your petition, on the basis of petition filed by the BJP MP, which you want to tear up tonight. Mr. Oza, you're on weak ground tonight. Let's get the other side.
Then please see.
Let's get Atul Kumar Anjaan, who argues politically. Atul Kumar Anjaan.
2 lines.
Atul Kumar Anjaan is arguing politically. Let's get everyone in.
However, the court will not interfere.
Mr. Anjaan, please.
On the ground that the different
Mr. Anjaan is arguing politically. Mr. Oza, I'll come back to you.
Yes, I am hearing. Ask this man to stop, and then I can speak.
Please continue.
Mr. Arnab, Mr. BP Singhal went to the Supreme Court. Mr. BP Singhal is the younger brother of VHP President Ashok Singhal.
What has that got to do with it?
BP Singhal was a member of parliament, of BJP. He was also the national executive of the member of the BJP. So he authentically went to the Supreme Court and judgment came. I just want to remind one thing. In 1958-59, on the whims of the Indira Gandhi, Namburi's past government was dismissed. But later on in S.R. Bomai case, Supreme Court gave a clear justification and clear orders. In 1977, when Janata Party came to power, then Janasangh General Secretary, the part of Janata Party, became the General Secretary of Janata Party. Nanaji Deshmukh said all the Congress government in the state should be removed, and that was removed. Since then, the story is going on, and now the governors, governors are appointed by the President of India.
Really?
And he is having
On
a
whose? No, no, one
constitutional
second.
right and will.
Really?
And then why all of it?
Really?
Why all of it? Then why all of a sudden? Yes, I say, why all of a sudden?
Governors are appointed by the President of India.
Or asked to leave their.
No, 1 second. Governor,
Yes,
no,
President
right?
of India.
Wrong, sir. Wrong, sir. When you say governors are appointed by the President of India, technically right. But if governors were appointed by the President of India, and let me complete, please tell me, there are RTI documents which have revealed, 1 minute, what happened with Sheila Dikshit.
Yes.
How she was rewarded for the debacle in the Delhi elections, how Sonia Gandhi accommodated her. RTI documents have revealed that the sitting Kerala governor Nikhil Kumar resigned. He was replaced by Karnataka governor as interim governor before Sheila Dikshit was appointed the new governor, and all of this happened in 4 hours. 4 hours on the 4th, no 1 minute, 4 hours on the 4th of March 2014. And you know why? Only to avoid the model code of conduct. Are you saying Pranab Mukherjee was trying to avoid the model code of conduct, or Sonia Gandhi was trying to avoid the model code of conduct? Mr. Anjaan, if you want to make it political, you must be even. Do not be biased towards the Congress party on the debate on this. No, please, Mr. Anjaan.
No,
Mr. Anjaan.
I just want to say,
Mr. Anjaan, why are you sounding like a Congress spokesperson tonight?
This all mess has been.
Why are you sounding like a Congress spokesperson
during
tonight?
the last 65 years? But at the same time, don't think that the BJP is a very pious people, organization of pious people.
Of course they are not.
They also do everything with a
No, but your focus is entirely on the BJP alone.
Motives, and there is a subtle way.
The BJP says we are doing what the Congress has been doing.
I don't find any justification of appointing Mr. B.L. Joshi, the governor of Uttar Pradesh. A third-class police officer was made governor of such a 22 crore people's state, and this was the choice of Sonia Gandhi.
Please don't use words like third class, etc.
No, I'll tell you why,
Mr. Anjaan. Mr. Anjaan,
they are not. Mr. Arnab Goswami.
Mr. Atul Kumar Anjaan
today. They are not Mahamahim today.
Mr. Atul Kumar Anjaan, I don't know who is first class and who is third class. I am sure today you are on the defensive because you were part of the government supporting the Congress government as loyal Congress supporters when they removed BJP governors. You are on the back foot today because you don't want to talk about that. You have corrupted the system. You have been beneficiaries of the system.
We were not supporters like Ram Vilas Paswan. We were not supporters like the Lalu Prasad Yadav. We never now joined the government. We never joined the government. On the policies we supported, on the policies we quit the government. That's the point. And when we were not supporting the government, this is the people are saying that the communist has got a big number, they are the government maker, and they are not supporting and coming forward, and they want to have another election, they want to impose another election, general election in the country. So at that point of time, we supported from outside in 2004.
Why are you so much on the back foot?
Whatever good things have been done.
Why are you on the back foot?
I'm not in back foot. I'm in on the front foot.
You know why you are on the back foot. You know why you are on the back foot. Should I tell you why you are on the back foot? No, should I tell you why you are on the back foot, Mr. Anjaan? You are on the back foot today because neither you nor Gaurav Bhatia. Because neither you nor Gaurav Bhatia.
We don't agree with Indo.
No, 1 second. Because neither you nor Gaurav Bhatia. And by the way, Gaurav Bhatia says the centre wants to saffronize the country. Right? Saffronize the country by appointing RSS and BJP men and governors and states, and this is terribly dangerous for democracy. Of course, everything that you are doing these days in Uttar Pradesh must be very beneficial for democracy. I don't even want to go into that. But if the removal of these governors, Gaurav Bhatia, is the saffronization of the country, what is the removal of the governors when the UPA came to power in 2004? Tell me.
That was the Congressization.
Yeah. Arnab, I would start by saying this. This was all started by the UPA 1 government, and in 2004, the governors appointed by the earlier BJP government were removed. But the situation has changed since then, and in 2010, a constitution bench of the Supreme Court has held that the governor should be a political person, and also he has a tenure of 5 years, should be removed for very valid and cogent reasons. His removal cannot be arbitrary and cannot suffer from malefied. Now, if we apply that test now, it is evident that what the BJP is doing It's trying to replace the earlier governors by governors who would be puppets in the hand of the central government.
How do you
They
know
would
that?
probably
MJ Akbar, how do you know
somewhere
that they haven't been
compromise
appointed
with
yet?
the
MJ
duties
Akbar,
that are enshrined
that's
in
a
the
big assumption.
Constitution for
MJ
them.
Akbar, that's a big assumption. By the way, it's a big assumption. MJ Akbar not
That's
in
why
disagreement.
then
I'm allowing
they should
MJ
have been
Akbar in. Mr.
allowed
Akbar.
to function for
No,
their
one
tenure
second.
of 5 years.
1 minute.
And
Gaurav
for
Bhatia, let
removal,
MJ
there
Akbar
should
in,
be
please.
valid reasons.
I'm allowing MJ Akbar in. Please respect that. Mr. Akbar, that you want to replace their puppets with your puppets.
Yes, sir.
That's the basic argument against you.
Arnab, I mean, I just heard the Supreme Court observations that governors, as I said in before, that governors should be apolitical. Would you really deem the governors that you have named, I don't want to name names, but in Bihar, elsewhere, are they apolitical? We know the UPA has appointed totally political governors.
And what will you
and
do?
They've rewarded, they've rewarded people. So, I mean, in that sense, if they have done, I mean, you cannot expect.
No, what will you do? You will put social workers as governors? Then say tonight, Mr. Akbar.
It has just won. It has just won the mandate of the people. It has just won the mandate of the people, and I'm sure you must allow and respect the mandate of the people and permit the government of Narendra Modi to govern.
No, this is
the mandate of the people does not empower them to remove the governors who have been constitutionally appointed, and even to hint to the governors that they should resign.
Response from Mr. Akbar.
And especially
response from Mr. Akbar. You made your point. Let him speak.
It empowers them to remove political governors, and you've politicized it. I mean, just look at the situation in Bihar. I don't want to get into details.
Let him complete.
But the governor in Bihar has actually played politics in Bihar in order to help and hinder government formation. And this has raised a great crisis in Bihar.
That is your view.
Accusations.
No, so there you are. You just revealed it, Mr. Akbar.
It's not just
you revealed it, Mr. Akbar. You revealed tonight.
Sorry?
And by the way, no, 1 second, Mr. Akbar. It is said, now I think, Mr. Akbar, you are now in the area which I call the quicksand of your own argument. You know, Mr. Akbar, in the May 2010 judgment, the Supreme Court said a governor cannot be removed provided there are provided there are compelling reasons to do so, but added what would be allow me to complete. What would be the compelling reasons would depends on the facts and circumstances of each case. So I say this to you tonight, let's get down to brass tacks. Don't do this in a cloak and dagger manner. Send a letter to each governor saying we are removing you because of XYZ reason. Because the court has said that in removal, the power under Article 156(1) cannot be exercised in a court. No. What are you shaking your hand for, Mr. Oza? They said very clearly 156(1) cannot be exercised in arbitrary.
I tell you, Supreme Court has equal. If you read the whole judgment, said it is not an employee. Therefore, no reasons be stated.
No.
As and when challenged, we will definitely.
No, Mr. Oza, you are skirting.
Supreme Court.
You are skirting.
Reasons need not be.
You are
Governor
skirting,
is not
and
an
that's why
employee.
you stop me from completing.
Employee, if removed, is required to be told for what reasons he is being removed.
Arnab.
No. Removal of governor, he need not be told. He need not be told that these are the reasons.
No, 1 second. We want to know.
The Supreme Court,
no, 1 second.
We will definitely justify.
Mr. Oza, I am so surprised that you have come unprepared and without having read the May 2010 judgment. Usually, you have your facts right. What has happened today? Mr. Oza, the compelling reason. Mr. Oza, read the papers. No, you read the papers and tell me if I am wrong. According to me.
Arnab, I have told you, I even marked it.
Mr. Oza, what are you waving papers? I have more papers than you. The fact is this, Mr. Oza, that in the May 2010 judgment, it is said very clearly that the compelling reasons, 1 minute, the compelling reasons are not restricted to those.
Compelling reasons need not be told to the governor.
1 second.
Compelling reasons need not be told to the governor.
So tell us now, what is the secret? Reasons are physical or mental disability.
As and when he or she challenges.
2, corruption.
Central government would justify it.
No, why are you doing this in the cloak? You said you'll be a transparent government. Be transparent, for God's sake. Point number 1 was said physical and mental disability. Second was corruption, and third, behavior unbecoming of a governor.
Certain things. No, if we give the reasons, that will undermine the office of the governor.
No, what
He's not
is,
an employee.
no, you need, you
For reason
basic,
X, reason Y, reason Z,
no, now you are
being sacked.
No, I don't think that argument holds.
Only to keep that office, the sacredness of that office, the august office.
So
that
you
he
are
or
saying,
she
no,
holds,
Mr. Akbar,
he
Mr.
did not
Akbar,
be
what,
told
no, watch it,
that
Mr.
these are
Akbar,
the
Mr.
reasons.
Oza is
As and when
suggesting
challenged,
tonight.
it would be submitted before.
By the way, I have a piece of paper. And this piece of paper is a scanned copy. Don't tell me how I got it. Because the government says that, you know what, we have nothing to do with the removal. Nobody even made a phone call. This piece of paper is part of a series of documents that has come from the Ministry of Home Affairs, in which an elaborate list has been made by the government of all those governors who are to retire shortly. Remember, this is a Home Ministry document, and if you look at this side, it says for restricted circulation. I have the list. This proves today that this is a documentation exercise going on in the Ministry of Home Affairs. Rajnath Singh has every right to do it. But don't tell us that you are not planning. You made a list of people who will retire shortly. Below this, if you look at this, another list is being made, which is of governors recently appointed. In fact, it is so detailed that even the dates of birth of these governors and their states, date of expiry of their tenure, everything is laid out here. So, Mr. Oza, I didn't want to put this out, but since you are trying to challenge me, I am putting it out. Now, I want to know from Mr. Akbar. Mr. Akbar usually gives me a strong line of argument. I want to know from Mr. Akbar, why should we not know what Mr. Oza is saying? There is some really serious charges that are there against these governors, but the new government does not want to embarrass these governors and hence will not put them out in the public domain. What kind of argument is that?
You know, Arnab,
Mr. Akbar.
Arnab, the piece of paper which you say that you have got from the Home Ministry is available on the internet anywhere.
No, Mr. Akbar,
when the governors are going
Mr. Akbar,
going to retire.
Mr. Akbar, this is a recent paper which has been prepared by
the second.
One second. It is not an internet document. I'm putting this on record. Anyway,
of the obvious.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure it's a statement of the obvious, and all governments find out when the list of governors are due for retirement.
No, what is the company?
Due for retirement.
This was restricted circulation.
No, please. I mean, whether it says for restricted circulation or not. Hello.
Yes, go on. I don't think papers for restricted circulation are put up by your government on the internet. You're not so transparent.
No, I'm merely suggesting that, the facts that are there are easily available in any who's who or biodata.
No, but I don't have a fact. What is the specific reason you're removing each governor?
The specific reason is because, you have taken yourself, Arnab, a very fine case from Kerala, where a governor was not arbitrarily, that's the wrong word, suddenly left his post, went off to become a Congress candidate.
Yes.
Was replaced by another Congress chief minister, and
yes.
You yourself have said that the whole process took place in 4 hours. Similarly, as I have noted the case in Bihar, there are instances. Now, the centre has the right to govern, and the governor is a very important constitutional part of governance, directed through the cabinet and through the Home Ministry.
But
if the confidence, may I just complete? The governor must also have the trust and confidence of and therefore the Supreme Court itself has put in a caveat that where there are compelling reasons, and I'm sure that in many of the cases there are compelling reasons, I don't think it is very wise to put some of this dirty linen in public eye, because we must respect the institution.
No, what is the dirt? So you are saying watch. Okay, so KTS Tulsi joins the debate. KTS Tulsi.
Therefore, I don't think that we should actually. I think it would require, as the Home Minister said, I think decency requires that those governors who have been asked should offer their resignations themselves.
Then why did the decency not apply when NDA BJP appointed governors were removed? Were they indecent?
Sorry?
When BJP appointed governors were being removed and you were protesting them, who was being indecent then by protesting? Who was being indecent by going to court? Who was being indecent by constantly saying that, taking the contrary line? Anyway, KTS Tulsi joins the debate. KTS Tulsi, M J Akbar's basic argument tonight is there is a reason for removing these governors. We won't go into detail. He says there is a reason we will not wash dirty linen in public. And he says repeatedly that these people are, he is not using the words, but basically he's saying they're all political stooges who have been accommodated by Sonia Gandhi. And which is a right. Which is
I didn't use the word stooges, Arnab.
No, I use the word.
No,
It's my interpretation of what you said.
That's a very, that's fine. I don't want to use such a word.
No, sure, you are not using such a word. But of course, I mean, there must be a compelling reason. KTS Tulsi, for example, tonight, you are among those people who says, what is the BJP doing? They're ruining the country by removing these 7 governors. Almost as if it seems, Mr. Tulsi, that these 7 governors go away and Indian democracy will fold up. I mean, that is the most laughable argument, Mr. Tulsi, in a country where lots of people believe the Raj Bhavans are nothing but an exorbitant expense account on the system which we are funding. First of all, we should not have governors. Second point is, Mr. Tulsi, thank you for smiling tonight. Yeah. Second point, Mr. Tulsi, one of the great contributions of Sonia Gandhi and Manmohan Singh has been to appoint a former CBI director as the governor of Nagaland in March last year. Tell me, what kind of services did he render to 10 Janpath? Which, by the way, and the Congress has refused to take part in this debate. What kind of services did a CBI director render to 10 Janpath that he was appointed as the Nagaland governor in March last year?
I can't answer that. All that I can say is that the option of not washing dirty linen in public and still being able to remove the governors is just not available with the government, because the constitution has been interpreted and the Supreme Court has held that the removal of a governor is reviewable, judicially reviewable. So this is amenable to judicial review. It's not something which they can do and the courts will not look at it. And the court also, Supreme Court says that there must be valid and compelling reasons. And it gives 3 examples of valid and compelling reasons. The first is mental or physical incapacity. The second is that the governor concerned is facing corruption charges.
That's complete hypocrisy, Mr. Tulsi. Hypocrisy.
In a manner.
That's hypocrisy from your side. The Congress is, you are criticizing the BJP now. You take a Congress position. You're not a congressman. But if you're now asking M J Akbar and Yatin Oza to respect the Supreme Court judgment of 2010, I want to know from you, Mr. Tulsi, why the recommendations of the Sarkaria Commissions on Interstate Relations were not implemented. That commission was appointed in 1983. Its findings were revealed in 1988. It specifically spoke about the role of the governor and advised against arbitrary removals transfers. You kept doing this. That's the first thing which you did in 2004. What kind of hypocrisy is it today, Mr. Tulsi, that's coming out in the course of the argument?
Who am I?
No,
who am I? I'm nobody.
I didn't mean you.
Question,
I mean the Congress, which will be the beneficiary of your argument. I am not saying anything against you, but I am sure the Congress party, which has avoided the Newshour, is applauding tonight, watching you on television.
It is unfortunate that the parties did not agree on accepting the recommendations of the Sarkaria Commission, which were eminently desirable. And it's unfortunate that despite the fact that there was discussion, no healthy conventions were agreed upon and no healthy conventions have developed since then. All that we have is
how come you want how come you are for healthy how come you support my question is, why do you think the Congress party wants healthy traditions when it is in the opposition and wants unhealthy practices when it is in power? I just don't get the depth of that argument, Mr. Tulsi. It defeats me. Does it defeat you as well?
No, but even now you will be able to get the depth of the argument that they want to remove certain governors only because they were aligned to they were choice of a political party.
Yes, they are saying that. Yes, M J Akbar is saying that. He's not being hypocritical about it.
Then they want to appoint another set of politicians who are aligned to them.
Exactly.
How does the situation improve?
That's the weak point.
This was precisely the
argument. That's the weak point. Gaurav Bhatia comes back to the debate. No, 1 second. 1 second. Yes, Gaurav Bhatia. Okay.
Arnab, I heard from the BJP spokespersons that the BJP has got a huge mandate. Let me just say this, that even a huge mandate would not empower them to act unconstitutionally. And in the past, who did the BJP appoint? Mr. Madan Lal Khurana or others that they appointed as governors were also political appointees. And very importantly, Arnab, in 2004, the BJP said three things when their appointed governors were removed. One, they said that they should be allowed to complete the term, which today they are not
Why
allowing.
are you suffering
Second,
from
they said
short-term memory
political
loss?
persons can be appointed.
Why are you
And
suffering
third, they
from
said
short-term
that
memory
the
loss?
decision to remove them amounts to constitutional impropriety.
No,
now
Gaurav,
today again, they are committing the same constitutional impropriety, and more so when the Supreme Court has already clearly laid down the law which was earlier not there in 2004. I think this is the most important point, that they cannot act arbitrarily ignoring the Supreme Court judgment as well as the constitutional provision.
No, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, you are suffering from short-term memory loss, a classical case of short-term political amnesia. You have forgotten what the UPA government said at that point of time. When the 4 governors were removed by the UPA government in 2004, Shivraj Patil had justified the removal saying, quote, we took precautionary measures. We took precautionary measures when we felt there could be a problem, and Atul Kumar Anjaan was part of that government. Atul Kumar Anjaan at that point of time allowed the removal. He saw that happening before his eyes. Atul Kumar Anjaan did not say one word in 2004. He was a picture of silence. So, Mr. Anjaan, if you felt there was a problem with NDA appointed governors, why should M J Akbar not have a problem with UPA appointed governors? Tell him tonight, then he will answer you.
All right, Mr. Arnab. As I have told you earlier, our position was very clear about the common minimum program, and we support.
Don't hide behind a common minimum program which didn't get implemented.
Listen. No. We were not worried about the day-to-day affairs, what is happening in the cabinet and all that.
Oh, really?
But one point is very crystal.
You just almost brought the government down.
No, one point is very crystal.
Yeah.
No. Yeah,
sure.
no, all right. One point crystal clear. All right. Today you remove all these governors, politically motivated, politically committed to one political party, and Mr. KTS Tulsi's point is very valid. All right. You bring non-political people as the governor.
Really?
But
Who do
you
you
are
want?
bringing whom?
Who do you want? Santoor players and sitar
you are
players to
bringing
become governors?
Kalyan Singh.
Why are you reducing this to a joke?
Kesrinath Tripathi. You are bringing Madan Lal. You are bringing Mr. from Delhi.
Let Mr. Akbar take that. So that's your real problem. Mr. Akbar,
Mr. Very much. Vijay Kumar Malhotra is a political person. Kailash Joshi is a political person. You are removing one set of political people by that understanding that they are politically aligned to a political party. What are you?
Hansraj Bhardwaj. 1 second. Mr. Anjaan, just a minute. Hansraj Bhardwaj is a sitar player. Margaret Alva is an athlete.
Don't think so.
1 second. Kamlaben Beniwal is a cultural personality. 1 minute. JB Patnaik is an award-winning author. Right?
All right.
And MK Narayanan never served under the pleasure of the UPA government.
Crime?
That's hypocrisy.
But why? No, all right. No. They were the Congress activists. You want to say that the
so Congress activists are okay when the left is supporting the Congress party.
The BJP is bringing the political people. My point is only this.
So who did you bring in?
Some non-political people. No. Susashan means what? You asking
Yatin Oza and M J Akbar to respond to. No, since the argument is now political, and I'm happy it's political.
On this August,
I am happy it's political. At least the veneer.
People.
No,
maybe inclined towards you.
No, I'm very happy. I'm very happy, Mr. Anjaan. Mr. Anjaan, I'm very happy the debate is political. At least this false veneer of a legal argument around the governor's issue is being taken away. Because otherwise Gaurav Bhatia would have made it some legal argument. It's political. We'll remove your people, you remove our people.
Political.
We have scant regard. We have no regard for the Supreme Court of the country.
The Kerala incident of removal of the Nambutiri Park government. I referred the question of the SR Bomai case. I referred.
Mr. needs to answer 1 second.
About the Janata Party Raj and all.
This is too. No, 1 second. This is Mr. Anjaan. We are getting responses. This is 2014, not 1957. M J Akbar is responding. M J Akbar, please, on the charge of political stooges being appointed for political reasons.
No.
1 second. Let him hear.
When you go to the Supreme Court, Keshwanand Bharti case of the Supreme Court judgment has to be
listen to the BJP point of view, please. Yeah.
Keshwanand Bharti case has to be judged. You cannot, you see, shield that. You cannot away from that fact of the Keshwanand Bharti. That is the historical decision. So when you are discussing about the governor, certain acts you have to discuss. My simple question is this. My simple submission.
Sir, the removal of.
All right, you remove.
Sir, the removal of.
But bring non-political people.
Sir, before you go to Mr. Nambutripad, Vishnukant Shastri, Kailashpati Mishra, Babu Parmanand, and Kedarnath Sahai was more recent, who you removed in 2004. Now, please don't respond because M J Akbar is responding to you, M J Akbar.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that our eminent friend from the CPI has not. May I please have the privilege of saying something? I am a little surprised that our eminent friend from CPI has not mentioned Dharmavira in Bengal. You must be as vociferous about Dharmavira and what he did to United Front governments if you really want to go far back into a history which at least the present generation of voters has forgotten. But I must also compliment our friend. I said he must be very, very close to the Home Minister of India, Mr. Rajnath Singh, because he seems to know all the names of our friend from CPI. He seems to know all the names of the people who are going to be appointed governors. I don't think the government of India or the Home Minister of India has announced any names as yet.
That's a nice way to deflect, M J Akbar. It's a nice way to deflect. No, nice way to deflect. But today, no, 1 second. Nice way to deflect. But the fact is this. The fact is this. If Sheila Dikshit today says
one fellow is in jail in Ranchi, I can also refer his name.
Just a minute, Mr. Anjaan. Take that as a backhanded compliment.
Arnab,
if today Sheila Dikshit, 1 second, Yatin Oza, please. If Sheila Dikshit says, if I am removed, I will take the Narendra Modi government to court, then I am asking because you en masse try to remove 7 governors. If 3 of them were to go to court, Yatin Oza, how embarrassing will it be for the new government? How embarrassing will it be for the new government? Because you know this will not be upheld in a court of law after the 2010 judgment. You know that, Yatin Oza.
That is your presumption and assumption.
Why? Again, you've not read the judgment.
Justified before the court of law. Out of 29 governors appointed by UPA government, only 7 are touched. Therefore, we are not acting arbitrarily. We have material and we will justify.
Material? Show me the material. No, 1 second.
An assumption of Mr.
KTS Tulsi. No, 1 second. What is material? What material do you have?
That we have.
No, what material do you have?
And without any motivation.
What material do you have?
I did say.
What material do you have?
I did say that it is an August.
What material do you have?
Of the governor,
no, this is no, 1 second. This is the politics of threat of the BJP.
The Honorable Supreme Court
Mr. Oza, this is the politics of threat of the BJP. You say we have material against these people. And M J Akbar says there are very strong reasons, we just don't want to wash dirty linen in public. Gaurav Bhatia, this is absolutely...
That's what exactly I am saying.
No, the message is clear.
I am falling in line with what Mr. Akbar says.
No, the message is clear that you don't go on your own and we have some expose against you.
Arnab,
I say put the expose out in public domain.
The worrisome part is this, Arnab, that whether it was the UPA which had political puppets in governor houses or it's been the BJP in the past and now again, if they appoint such persons, how will that person fulfill constitutional obligations that have been put upon him by the constitution? The governor is supposed to act fairly and he is the link between the state government and the central government, and all these political appointees would have their allegiance towards the party and not towards the constitution.
First you discharge your constitutional obligations in UP.
Mr. Oja,
every day we
can have a debate on UP separately, but I think if you would read the judgment of 2010, it would be clear to you that without any reasons you cannot remove a governor. And dare I say that you are acting illegally. And is it not true that the governor of Gujarat Ms. Beniwal is being removed because she has very sharp differences even with Mr. Narendra Modi regarding the appointment of Lokayukta. The Supreme Court had to intervene to direct the government and say that the Lokayukta should be appointed.
Supreme Court has passed.
Today
Supreme Court has passed
strictures. And
Supreme Court has passed
which are unconstitutional.
Supreme Court
it
has
is well
passed
within our right to
strictures against
question those.
Arnab ji,
Why should we not do
Mr.
that?
Arnab Goswami, read the judgment. Supreme Court has passed strictures against her conduct.
You read
And
para
that will be a
83,
valid ground to justify.
para 83
Forget
and
about
para 45, Mr. Oza, and it would be clear to you that the Supreme Court has said that you cannot remove governors on whims and fancies. This is nothing but a political vendetta that you are doing. And just because the UPA did it earlier does not justify your action.
Now you are changing the subject from
one second, Mr. Oza.
2010 judgment.
Mr. Oza, as per my information on this document, which by the way is restricted circulation and cannot be googled, what M J Akbar says, Kamlaben Beniwal is to retire on the 14th of October 2014, which, Mr. Oza, you will be delighted to know, is 3 months and 25 days away. Please tell me tonight, and I'm wrapping up with this. I think you and M J Akbar both need to tell us tonight one. No, let me complete.
1 minute.
No, let me complete. Let me complete.
After the way in which she ran the parallel government.
So political vendetta.
She ran the parallel government from Raj Bhavan.
Is that an argument?
There is no vendetta.
Is that an argument?
Serious misconduct.
Is that an argument?
Serious misconduct.
Is that an argument? Then put it on paper. Let it go to court.
Serious misconduct.
No, Mr. Akbar. No, Mr. Akbar. If that is the argument. No, if that is the argument. If that is the argument, put it on paper. Take it to court. If that is the argument, put it on paper. Let it go to court. Let it go to court, Mr. Oza. Why are you scared of taking it to court? Take it to court.
No, Arnab, let's not forget the Supreme Court had
that will be done, you say. You'll take it to court.
The governor's decision against the government of Gujarat then.
You see, many times, Mr. Arnab, many times Gujarat government on the question of the government of the Gujarat went to the Supreme Court and they got a befitting reply. I just want to remind one thing. The Prime Minister said on the floor of the House, he will take the lessons from the elders.
Have you read the judgment of the Supreme Court dated 2nd of January 2012?
Yes,
2013?
I have read it, Mr. Oza.
I just want to say one thing. Listen, just one thing. If Prime Minister has said inside the Parliament, he will not take anything and he will not take any political vendetta. I think on the Beniwal question of Gujarat governor, only 2-3 months are left. The magnanimity has to have been like this. All right,
Mr. Akbar, you must reply.
Done. But I think this is a political. This is a political vendetta. What Arnab says is correct, and I think.
I want to know what is the
people will not buy your arguments. That's the point only.
No,
your arguments will not be, Mr. Oza, your arguments will not be bought by the people. They will not be convinced by these arguments.
No, forget the people. I have simply 2 questions and M J Akbar is...
Neither would the Supreme Court be.
No, 1 second. Will it be 3 minutes on the debate?
I think even the Supreme Court would not be convinced.
3 minutes on the debate. Put the reasons for Kamlaben Beniwal's and others' removal on paper. Let it therefore be challenged in court if necessary, rather than do it in a cloak and dagger manner. And Mr. Akbar, why hesitate from doing that? And what precisely is the grave national threat which Kamla Beniwal poses, which if not removed immediately and 3 months and 25 days later will seriously affect the people of Gujarat and the people of this country?
She is in habit of, Mr. Akbar also possibly will not be knowing there are 100 orders where she has ran parallel government from Raj Bhavan.
No, so but then it's vendetta.
She is instrumental in issuing charge sheet to the Vice Chancellors. Before the statutory provision,
within the Constitution,
where powers based with some other statutory authority she has exercised.
Then put it on paper.
She has passed 100 orders.
Put it on paper.
Where power does not vest in her.
What? So what?
Put it on paper.
They can always challenge it.
Forget about
another 20 after that.
Put it on paper then. Let it be challenged.
You can face 4.5 years. Can't you face 3 months?
Can't you waste 3 months? KTS Tulsi wanted to come in
that
and
shows your
will close the debate.
That
KTS
shows
Tulsi.
your attitude.
3 hours.
KTS Tulsi.
Not 3 hours.
Yeah, Arnab, I want to say that the kind of statements that have been made in this show by two of the gentlemen against serving governors will now make it obligatory on them to fight for their honor, because if they meekly resign, it will be taken to be an admission. So therefore, they will have to fight, and this is the kind of a statement which ought not to have been made by making off the
Mr. Akbar,
remarks.
Mr. Akbar will respond at the end of this debate. Serious charges directly or indirectly put on the integrity and functioning of governors, and of there being serious reasons for their removal should be made public.
Arnab,
Yes.
Arnab, I always knew that Mr. Tulsi was a very good lawyer. Now he has given further evidence of it. I just like to remind him that they began the fight long before we began this show. They didn't have to wait for our mild comments. And as I said, I repeatedly did not say anything specific, and they did not have to wait for our comments to do that. Believe me, what Mr. Oza has said is only a very thin icing on a very serious cake.
No, so you are making a charge, no, Mr. Akbar, then I think the charge should be made publicly, not in a closed doors, not in a cloak and dagger manner. We need to know what have the governors done which is so, what is there on their record, which is the blot on their integrity, because you see the charges for I am sure you're aware of the clauses under which governors can be removed.
Has already.
Yes?
Sure, of course. And we also know that the president is also a party to all this. But what Mr. Oza has said, I think is extremely convincing.
So what you're saying is that the President of India is aware.
Behavior, and I really don't want. I don't want to say anything more.
No, but you're saying the President of India is aware of the compelling reasons for the removal of these governors?
We do not want to tarnish the image of the office of the governor, and we shouldn't.
Well, you are saying therefore that the President of India, Pranab Mukherjee, is aware of the serious charges or the fact that there are some serious cases which are the compelling reasons why these 7 governors are being removed?
Of the council.
No.
President has no say in the matter. President will go by.
No, but M J Akbar just said the President is aware.
No. I said the President will go by the recommendation.
He has to be made aware. But
to be
recommendation of the council.
Well, we'll take this discussion. We'll take
absolutely.
We'll take this discussion forward. I mean,
by the recommendation, I said that in the very beginning. That the president, in the very beginning, opening remarks, has said that the president has to go by the decision of the cabinet.
Well, of course, has to go by the decision of the cabinet, but there is an implication here that there are some serious charges which are against these governors. Lot of viewers on Newshour tonight would want to know. Make those public. Make those compelling reasons public. It will only strengthen the institutions if these cases exist.
The August office that the governor holds.
Thank you.
August office that the governor holds, it can't be made public.
Thank you, Arnab.
Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me on debate number 1 on the Newshour tonight.
This is Times Now, Super Prime Time.